Good morning. Today is the 19th of February 2026, and I guess first off it would be Happy Chinese New Year, 新年快樂，恭喜發財，身體健康. So just wishing you all health, happiness, and wealth. And this video is going to be about Wuling in the Enfield because I actually finished all of Wuling. I was originally planning on, after I finished my very busy school week, to then make a video then on all the things I've been doing up to that point, and then another video after I'd finished Wuling, but I got too sucked in, and so I just went ahead and did it anyway. So since the last video, I have completely changed my main team to being Last Rite, Zaihi, and then 2 supports. So at first it was Pelika and Ardelia, and then I changed Pelika to Fluorite, but I'm thinking I might change back to Pelika again because I just really like Pelika a lot more than Fluorite, like just as a character. Like Pelika has like really grown on me a lot since going to Wuling. And actually that's one of the things that I would like to talk about, because I found that the level of I guess the level of skill when it comes to storytelling has really gone up immensely after Valley 4. Like, I find that you can really feel the difference between like Valley 4 and then once they start going to Wuling, or even just like the meeting between like the heads of like the civilization band and things like that. Like that already felt quite different, and I really liked that. But I think, yeah, so I finished that part of the story, and then I went back to play the character stories, and I actually really enjoyed those a lot more than I was expecting. Like, I was thinking that, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it would just be like a lot of talking, and I don't know, I was just a bit hesitant. But I ended up playing Levataine's story first because that was the first one that popped up. And then I really liked that. Like, I found it really helpful from a storytelling point of view, because one of the things that I had been, I don't know if struggling is the right word, but one of the things that I had sort of like noticed, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it, was how the administrator sort of held up as this mythological figure, and it felt kind of not exactly fake, but it felt sort of hollow in some ways, like, because, you know, we don't know the Endmin's history, but everyone is saying that the Endmin is really great. And so it was actually really nice in Levataine's story that the Endmin themselves just tells to Levataine that, you know, they don't remember anything, and so they feel like they're playing this role, but they feel like a lot of pressure to play this role, but they you know, they have no recollection of it, and yet they don't want to let anyone down, so they just keep playing this role. And I thought that was very, very humanizing. It really made me think, oh, okay, you know, we're in safe hands in terms of storytelling. Like, I don't need to worry about it feeling too awkward or anything like that, or just having like this ultimate savior type of person, because it seems like that's not the direction they want to go in. And then of course in Wuling, when you have, what's his name, Ardashir and things like that, it's sort of like the way that Ardashir, he seems to know who the administrator is, and then kind of like, it seems almost like if the administrator had their memories, then perhaps the Endmin would actually be on Ardashir's side of the conflict, which is interesting. You know, that's an interesting sort of idea to think about. Like, what context is the admin and the player missing because we don't have these memories? So here I just want to draw my girl, Last Rite, who is adorable. And she has really grown on me, like one as like a character, but also just as a character to play as well. Like the way she's sort of like just stumbling through the world and all of that is so like adorable. Like I don't always like characters like this, but I find the way that they've executed her in the game is just so adorable and genuine, I find. I also really like how her design has all these little bells. Like I don't know what all the lore is about like the sarcas and all that, but she's really cute. I like her a lot. Like I will say her design was kind of a bit, oh, that's interesting when I first saw it, but yeah, she has grown on me a lot. It's like these like long, I'm just looking at her on my tablet so I can see what I'm doing. So all these like really bad drawings early in the morning. I did a little bit of sketching, like, you know, just a little bit of sketching this morning, but yeah, I think when you turn on the camera and you try to draw in front of the camera, it's a pretty different skill set you need to draw on. Lights in her eyes. Make it look a bit cuter. She looks a little bit, I don't know. What else did I want to talk about? Oh goodness, the cinematography in these quests has been absolutely amazing. So sort of setting aside Valley 4, but just going into all the story quests and just, oh, it's amazing. Like you can tell that the devs are people who really, really care about not just their game, but also these characters and trying to like tell their story in a way that like sort of shows them off in the most appropriate way, or like really connect. It really helped the players connect with these characters. So like I played Wolfguard's, I've played all the character stories, but I played Wolfguard's story and I was kind of expecting that it may not be as good as say like Levitane's or Gilberta's, like in terms of the amount of effort that's going into it, but I was completely wrong, like because that story is, you know, the devs put so much effort into this story, and Wolfguard is, you know, a 5-star character who I always really liked, but I was just so happy to see all that extra effort that's gone into it, and hopefully a continuing storyline as well that I'm guessing will connect up with Rosie as well. And I think, you know, she's a fan favorite, right? So that story should be good. What else is there? Right, so Wuling itself has been really, really fun so far. So I finished the main story, but I haven't unlocked everything. I haven't, you know, done all the side quests. I don't think, yeah, I haven't even like unlocked like the farming part of it yet, which I really do want to do. but I've just been distracted in Genshin Impact to just collecting my free Gaming for the year, because I really want to get a C6 Gaming, because he's like my favorite little character. But anyway, yeah, so Wuling has been, of course, it's like a beautiful, beautiful area. And like the story, not just the story itself, but also the way that it's being told, I think is also a real step up. Like I think even like if you compare Valley 4 to like just any random gacha game you find, then it's like not that far off. It's like, you know, pretty powerful course. But I think probably there's like some expectation because this is like the Arknights devs, right? You know, they're really known for their story, and I've, you know, played you know, a good amount of Arknights when it first came out, and I really enjoyed the story. But it was just kind of like, you know, Valley 4 was like a little bit, I don't know, like when I look back at it now, I think actually doing it that way is not all bad. Like it kind of reminded me a little bit of A Realm Reborn in Final Fantasy XIV, where like you go through these earlier parts of the game and you kind of go, oh yeah, you know, this is just really normal, boring stuff. But then it's that normal, boring stuff that then later gives you that emotional resonance when things happen in the game, or when you're suddenly flung into Ishgard, or you have to go to, or like return to old areas and things have happened and, you know, the whole world's exploding. Like it's because you've done all those like, you know, seemingly menial tasks in these earlier areas that's why it feels meaningful when things happen there. So I kind of feel like there's a little bit of that, since in Valley 4, you know, you have the main team, you have Perlika, you have Chen Qianyu. Gosh, I really like Tang Tang. I love how she said Chen Qianyu's name at the very beginning of that quest. It made me so happy. I told my mum all about it. But yeah, I think in a perfect world, Valley 4 would be just as good as Wuling is now. But I think if you had to make a decision between either having mediocre Valley 4 and really good Wuling, or average both of them, I think the way they've chosen to do it is better. I prefer it this way. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what'll happen next in Wuling. I also really like Ardashir. I had seen images of him, like promotional images, like when the betas were on and all that. I thought, oh, okay, you know, he should be an interesting character, but he has really turned out to be a very interesting character. And I really liked his English voice acting as well, because I'm playing the game in English, because I like to have all the different accents and all the different languages, like when like Rossi and Wolfgard talk and all that. So I'm enjoying that. I also really like how in Wuling you have all the like the receptionist and the, I don't know, like the city, I don't know, city administrative things. They all talk in Chinese, which is really cute. I really like that a lot. Yeah, I'm hoping that like in later areas we'll get that as well. Oh, this part is silver. Okay. Like this. I don't think I've actually drawn Last Rite before, so this should explain some of my confusion about how to actually do this. Draw some of the hair behind her. So, what else am I thinking about? Oh, one of the interesting things I found was that when I first went to Wuling and then I had to start setting up my base again, I suddenly felt so overwhelmed. I felt, oh, I'd have to do this all over again. I have to learn everything all over. But I actually found that once I sort of got over that and started to actually, start setting things down, planning out how I wanted to do the factory and all that, I realized that I'm not actually starting from scratch, because my own knowledge, like my knowledge about how to do things, has actually improved. So it's kind of like if you play Monster Hunter and how you don't really carry things through from the previous games, but you carry your knowledge and your skill about how to do things. And so that was actually really nice, since I knew that, oh, okay, I need to build this, or I know how to connect these things and all of that. So I actually found that, oh, it's quite enjoyable to start from scratch in this new area. And so I think, oh, this might be sort of like that model when you go to a new area and you can kind of learn the new stuff, but then apply your pre-existing knowledge, and that's kind of a real sense of achievement there. And I like that a lot. So I'm guessing that's kind of going to be the progression loop as we go through like different areas. Although I think Wuling should be lasting for a while, right? Since it's not done yet. And I think usually these types of games will do one new area a year, so I think we should still be in Wuling for a while longer. Which I'm totally fine with, because I like that. I like it a lot. I like this area a lot. Okay. Get you out of the way. Although I will say that, after finishing the main storyline, like my overall motivation has gone down a little bit to actually, play the game every day, which is pretty normal for me, because I like the story. That's what I'm there for. But I still have logged on every day, trying to collect my things and trying to optimize some of my factories and things like that. So that's been interesting. And also it'll be interesting to see like how long I keep this up for. Like, will I drop off for a while and then come back later like I usually do with these types of games, or will I keep going for longer? I'm not sure. I mean, partly that's also because I am a full-time student and I am very busy. But yeah, so I have been enjoying that a lot. What else do I want to talk about? I guess one of the things that I started noticing early on, so this was before I even went to Wuling, was how one of the themes of the game seems to be sort of like a flowing ecosystem that moves in a circle. So you have the factory, of course, like you have all these, you gain a resource and then you process it and then you put it into the main hub and then you bring it out again, you process it, and then sort of like this circular economy. I don't know if that's like the right way to describe it, but you sort of like have that circularity there. But then even like with the way the skills work, like how you have one skill creating a situation, or maybe you get a last hit and then that triggers something, and then that triggers something, and then that triggers something. So there's like this circular flow again, which is interesting. And at first I thought, oh, you know, is this just like in the factory? But I kind of get the sense that this isn't just to do with the factory. This is actually perhaps a larger theme of the game, is this sort of like circularity. Because when you think about trying to coexist with a harsh environment, on the one hand, you can try to completely conquer it, right? But if you do that, then in the long run, you're going to run out of energy, you're going to run out of steam, you'll run out of resources, you'll run out of will to keep going. Whereas if you can instead work towards some kind of equilibrium, some kind of flow with whatever it is that you're dealing with, so like a harsh environment or something like that, then actually you can coexist for a lot longer. And I was kind of thinking, like, is that a theme of the game? Like, actually a theme of the game? I don't know, right? I actually just realized I could have used this pen to color Last Rite's hair, but that's fine. Maybe next time. I kind of hope, you know, the other 5 stars also get character quests, especially characters like, you know, Zaihi, who I really, really like. I think the top part's a little bit blue. This. I should really plan these things through a little bit more before I start drawing, I think. This isn't really the right color of blue, but that's all right. Just do a little bit, just add a little bit of a blue tinge to it. Yeah, so I'm curious to know where the story's going to go. Like, my guess is that, you know, based on the previous Arknights game, like, the devs will have things that they want to say in this game. So, like, sort of like Do It Night Abyss, I'm thinking, yeah, you know, there are going to be some deeper themes. Although I haven't really seen them just yet, but I can imagine what they might be. So, like, maybe looking at expectations and memories and sort of, yeah, like a lot of the expectation that other people may place on you and the kind of pressure that creates. And how do you deal with that, right? Like, do you run away? Do you accept it? Is that fair or not, right? I think those are interesting ideas to think about. Oh, that reminds me though, I still haven't played the new next bit of the story in Do It Night Abyss, actually. I should probably try and figure out some time to do that, since I really do like the ideas in that game. Although I think I want to try and see if I can get Spy in Genshin Impact first. So I have a little bit of a hierarchy of things that I need to do. Well, not really need to do, but things I'd like to do before the end of this Chinese New Year holidays. And once this is over, basically, I'll be working non-stop until, I think, April, May. So this is sort of like my last holiday before I really have to buckle down and start getting things done. Which is fine, but just wanting to do what I can beforehand. Okay, so this is turning out a little bit odd, not exactly how I was envisioning it, but I didn't really have a plan when I started drawing this, so this is fine. This is whatever. Oh, actually, I think there's a little bit of purpley red around here as well, so I'll just put that in there. Would be nice. Yeah, so I guess what's next for me in Enfield? I think probably I will, you know, keep playing daily for as long as I feel like it. I'll probably try to engage with some of the endgame systems, so maybe like, what was it called? Etching or something? Like, I haven't actually done the quest to unlock that feature yet, but I'm guessing that's sort of where you kind of, I don't know, do something to increase the power of your gear or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But I haven't done that. I haven't unlocked that. Or any of those types of things. But I would like to make a team for Wolfguard because I really liked his character story. And I would like to play him more because in his character story you actually get to play him for a little bit, and I actually really liked that. But I don't know if I have characters that would work with him or not. I'll have to look it up. I mean, I don't really need to have a meta team or anything like that, so I'll probably just look at my other characters and just do a lot of description reading and stuff like that, just to see, like, is there any hope from within what I have now that can sort of give him a good team, because I really like him. I think he's a fun character. And I also have like I have a 6-star like weapon. I don't know if it's good for him or not, but it is a 6-star. So it was one of the 6 stars I got when I was trying to get Last Rite's 6-star weapon, which I did get in the end, which I'm very glad about because I spent so many Arsenal tickets trying to get it. Yeah, like this is actually, you know, getting Last Rite and then getting a duplicate for her. It's actually been a pretty good start of the game for me. Like usually I don't have very much luck in these games, but this time I've seen it's been pretty good. So I don't want to waste that. But I imagine I won't be playing as much for a while, at least until there's like another story quest, and then I'll jump back in for as much as I can and then jump back out again when life gets busy. So yeah, I hope you all have, well, I suppose maybe you don't have a holiday because you don't celebrate Chinese New Year like as a public holiday, but I wish you all a good new year, health, happiness, and wealth. So, bye-bye.